You have to believe me, it was not my fault. All I wanted to do was help her. Offer the help that was never given to me when I was a boy. You see, my mother was right. I'm a failure, and I failed at helping her. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't get the images out of my head. What I'm about to tell you, only you can know. If she ever found out I don't know, what would happen to me? You see, my mother beat me. It really wasn't her fault. It was my fault. I made her drink all of those bottles. And then whenever she drank, she would beat me. She drank because I was the failure in her life. She always dreamt of having a little girl. But instead, she had me, a little boy. I was the reason why my father left us. She would tell me that every day, every time she drank, and she would drink every day. One time, I tried to find help. I was 10 years old. All I wanted to do was make my mother happy. She was always so angry around me. I told my teacher how I was being beaten. I showed him the scars and the bruises that were all over my body. The teacher then told the social workers, then they came around. For a second, I thought it actually worked. They would be the individuals that would repair Mother and I's relationship. But Mother played it well. She acted like everything was okay, and they believed her. And when they left, she beat me so hard that I couldn't feel my legs afterwards. I learned later that they were broken. I never told anyone again. I would tell myself that I would be so much better than my mother. I would be the perfect father. That is why I teach. I teach grade 1 at Loretto Elementary School. I love the children that I teach. They don't deserve the things that I had to go through when I was a boy. But I see that some of the little girls in my class go through what I went through. I see the scars on their hands, and I know it's from their mother. And I know it's only I that can save them. The first time I taught a little girl who I knew was being hurt, I brought her home. I shouldn't have brought her home. But I knew there was no other way. No way to make sure that the beating stopped. All I wanted to do was protect her. But then something happened. You have to understand that all I could see was my mother. And how my mother saw me, saying how I was never good enough. And this little girl was crying. She wanted her mother. She didn't want her mother. How could she want her mother? But she kept saying, "Mommy, Mommy," and all I could hear was my mother yelling at me, beating me, screaming at me. And she was crying, and I told her to stop. She just wouldn't stop, and I could tell she was in so much pain. But all I could see was my mother, and I had to make it stop, and I had to make it stop, and I made it stop. I made it stop. I made it stop. I made it stop. What would you have done? I could have sent her home, couldn't I? It would be so much worse. All I wanted to do was protect her. I did save her from those beatings. Please, I'm begging you. They won't believe me. Only you can believe me. You know that all I wanted to do was help her. She was so precious, so small. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You have to believe me. They'll make me into a monster. I'm not a monster. I loved her. I just cared for her. I wanted to help her. I'm so sorry.